Hey everybody, welcome back to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt.
Hi everybody, it's Kat.
And you're here on you're on the elevator and you're going all the way up to the 10th floor and you're listening to some really good Christmas music. We had really good Christmas music this year, I thought. I mean, it was only a week long, okay? It was only a week of Christmas in General Hospital.
Yeah, it was only a week.
But
it was, and they jam-packed it full.
They packed it full of jam.
Yeah.
And I love jam. We all love jam. And so when we're jam-packed with Christmas, there really is no complaints. Yeah, they really stuck it all in there. We transitioned from Thanksgiving to Christmas lickety-split, but hey, it's the soap world. That's what we do. Week is day, day's week.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked the music. I think they changed it. They updated it this time around, didn't they?
Well, I think so.
I feel like there was more words.
It wasn't the exact same music from last year.
No,
but very similar.
In Kelly's, they had Christmas carols that had lyrics and stuff playing in the background. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt so Christmassy. I realized this year in my own life, I don't get much Christmas. I don't get much Christmas joy in my adult life. All right. Christmas when you're a kid seemed to have lasted 6 months. You know? Like with your 2-week winter break and and all the decorations and just the excitement that surrounds Christmas when you're a child, versus being an adult person with no children of their own. It's different. It's very different.
It is different. It is different. You know, my Christmas seems longer than one day to me. Uh-huh. But also, you know, Christmas is a ton of work.
It sure is. It sure is. Oh my gosh.
It is for me.
Oh my gosh.
It always has been.
And in the beauty of the soap world, they get to skip all that work and just show the beautiful result. I mean, the only decorating we saw was last week we saw the Corinthos family building they're trimming their tree, and then Drew with his little dinky Charlie Brown tree in the kitchen.
Yes.
It's like, this is this is great. This is here's some, honestly, okay, let's just get into the nitty gritty. All right, let's get off all this Christmas nonsense. That was yesterday. Okay, let's talk about today. Okay, let's talk about how when you come back from the dead or spend a lot of time in jail, you come back to having just all the money that you need. How is that happening for these people? Did the banks just let go of Drew's money? Oh, I guess he's not dead after all. Let's give him all his cash back.
Yeah.
You know, Shawn was in jail for 5 years, comes out, he's got the most modern cell phone, slick clothes, and he's able to buy the Invader based off of, where do you get the money for this nonprofit anyway? I don't remember that.
Nicholas. Oh, didn't you get it from Nicholas?
Oh, that was their little deal. Give me this money for the nonprofit, and I'm not going to throw you under the bus for Hayden. And I guess they threw the gun in a ditch with some random body.
Yep. I guess.
I feel like Victor Cassadine had something to do with that one.
Oh, I bet he did.
I didn't realize that previous Victor didn't have an English accent.
No, he didn't.
So I thought that was really fun this week. Okay, let's talk about Victor Cassadine. That's a great person to start anchoring the show off of. All right, so Victor Cassadine. All right, he's in town and he is arrogant as ever. But I really enjoyed his stuff with Ava, because Ava was like, "You that English accent is new." It's like, "Thank you, I've earned it."
Yeah, I've been working on it.
I really enjoyed that, and I thought that was a fun little nod, just to the fact that they changed the actor and blah 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 blah. You know, I'm with it. Victor is going to be the perfect foil to Laura, and we are definitely setting that up.
Oh, definitely. And Laura just does not underestimate him at all.
She does, but she doesn't. Victor Cassadine hasn't even crossed her mind when it comes to who might be putting a hit out on her and Marty. But then again, that hit was to flush them out. Oh, they've been flushed out, have they? They're back to town. And is he planning on actually hurting them, or did he just want them to come back to Port Charles?
Oh, I think he has just other plans. I don't think he has plans to necessarily kill them, but I think he has some kind of plans.
I've been working on this for the last 5 years.
I think there's Cassadine stuff brewing.
And the Cassadines always love to focus on one Miss Laura Weber.
Yes, they're obsessed with her.
They're obsessed with Laura. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
they always have been. They're
All
so
of them.
obsessed
Every
with
single
her.
one of them.
Yes, and they used to be obsessed with Luke. Helena really liked Luke. I mean, she hated Luke, but
Yeah.
she kind of wanted to be with Luke.
Well, of course, because she's Helena. She wants to bone every
Yeah.
dude, whether she loves them or hates them. She wants them. She wants them. I gotta have a baby by you. I need a baby by you. That's what I need. I need a baby.
Yeah, I guess, I guess Charles, the actor, decided he ought to have an English accent. Or, maybe, who knows? The powers that be decided he should have.
He's an Englishman.
Yeah.
And besides, once you've made your fame as Mr. Sheffield, you can't necessarily change that voice now, can you?
I think that the reason why Michael E. Knight uses a accent,
A Kentucky accent,
as a Kentucky accent, is because he just wants he's trying to leave Tad.
Oh, definitely. He's trying to separate Tad away from Martin Gray. He's trying to do something different. I mean, come on. Well, I mean, if you played Tad to Cad for 30 years and you got an option to be somebody different, I would do it. I mean, look at Maurice Bernard right now, just reveling the fact that he gets to play somebody slightly different than Sonny of old.
Yeah.
And speaking of Sonny, you know what Sonny Corinthos is now that he wasn't before?
What is he?
Liberated. He is so liberated from all of that. The business, the other stuff. It just doesn't seem to be bothering him as much as it used to.
No.
And really, okay, so
he does need an enforcer.
He needs an enforcer for sure. Especially since Michael's getting in more and more trouble. Sonny's going to need somebody to kind of step in and intervene with that. Because Michael, Michael, what are you doing? Michael, you are throwing yourself into the other side really hard lately.
Yeah.
Really hard. Like, just being all like, hey, buddy, here's some money. Now let's throw this woman into jail. And he was on the phone with who? Talking about something. Like, he was working on some other underhanded thing, right? When it came to Nina. Like, our little deal's in place, right? She's going to jail. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was secret.
I don't think it's actually necessary. I mean, they're going to put Willow on the stand next week. And I think that Scotty is going to just reveal. He's going to make Willow reveal that Sonny and Nina were in love.
He's gonna push it. He's gonna push it hard. As soon as he found out, I don't know. Okay, can you tell me, since you are our encyclopedia on this show, you are the General Hospital historian. All right.
Too bad I don't remember better than
Okay. So I'm wondering, why is it that Scotty Baldwin has it out for Sonny so bad?
I don't know. I don't know. They are, they're not.
Anytime I can stick it to Sonny, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't remember any big story where they became enemies or whatever.
Just a lawyer-criminal relationship, I suppose.
I guess. I know that, Sonny always looks at him as a slimer,
Oh, they've probably had just a lot of little interactions over the years of Scotty being in the way of Sonny's goal in some way, or Sonny being in the way of Scotty's goal in some way, because both of them, it's just a little knife. I mean, they're both up to some stuff at some points.
Yeah. I think the person that Scotty always had a problem with was Luke.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Because of Laura.
Yeah.
But he didn't. They haven't been big enemies and big nemesis of each other. No.
All right. Okay. well, I guess maybe this is the beginning of a huge then rivalry brewing between Sonny and Scotty. And I'm with it. I loved seeing Scotty so much this week.
Me too.
Scotty's a great character, and since he since he's able to toe that line, he's able to ride the fence. Like, you like him because he's with Liesel and you love Liesel, right? And you want Liesel to be happy, and so you want Scotty and Liesel to work out. But then at the same time, he's also doing this thing that is like kind of against a little bit Nina, but also is helping Nina at the same time, just to stick it to Sonny. And he's just found himself in this golden opportunity to be involved.
Yeah. And, I think that when they said in court all of this stuff about all the, revealing that the money that Michael gave to the politician and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I think that's enough information right there to kind of get Nina a very light sentence or dismissed. Mm-hmm. They don't even need to, they don't think he has to have Willow go up there and
no. What do I do? I promised the court that I'm going to tell the truth, but I don't want to get anybody in trouble. This is not the right environment for this information to come out. Oh, what am I ever to do? I can't betray my husband.
So it's gonna be fun in the court next week.
Yeah, Willow's gonna speak up. Willow's gonna speak up. Come on, Willow, speak up. And then the drama's gonna be super fun after that.
Oh my goodness!
Oh man, the Corinthos family is going to explode.
Wait till they when they pan over to Carly, when it's revealed, oh my goodness, she might snatch her by the hair right there in the courtroom.
Oh no, that's contempt of court. She would at least wait to get on the sidewalk.
That's true.
The Corinthoses are careful. They know how to do it. They know how to do it. All right.
Actually, the most careful person before, and of course now he's gone, was just Jason.
They showed a little picture of Jason. How'd you feel about that? Honestly, all it made me do was think about the vaccination. Like, they just need to not do this for a while. It just put me right back in. Oh, and then he didn't get a shot. That's why he's not here. It just put me right back into it. Because, okay. These characters are sad. These characters were related to this guy. These characters are upset that he's dead. But too much of the real world sprinkled into this thing for us to be showing flashes of Monica remembering fondly Jason. Like, it just doesn't work emotionally anymore because of the real world stuff that we all know about.
No, because it doesn't put you back into Jason Morgan. It puts you into Steve.
Yeah,
Burton.
Exactly. So, I mean, nice for Monica. Nice, give Leslie Charleston her moments, Like, clearly she's in a relationship with Yuri, and that's fun.
That is
like,
fun.
Clearly.
And they popped open her wine thinking, well, she can't drink it anyway. And then it turned out to...
I guess Yuri knows Monica better than I thought.
It was sparkling. It was sparkling.
It was
juice.
Sparkling. It was sparkling. It was Martinelli cider.
Yeah,
our unofficial sponsor.
That stuff is delicious.
It is delicious. It certainly is, and it's great for young children out there that want to pretend like they're drinking. Whatever.
Yeah, I know that's really not a good idea, but a lot of people do it.
Yeah. So yes. So Monica and Yuri. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I mean, it was a nice Christmas. I thought there was a lot of realism to this Christmas too, even though it was super lightning quick and all that. And we only got 2 days of like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day type of deal. I thought that Sam and her kids is the most authentic I've ever seen Sam with kids in my entire a tambourine. Whose idea was that? A tambourine. Okay. All right. Well, you're gonna hate this next gift then. Oh, an accordion. Okay. Like that is classic Christmas. Okay.
Yeah.
Classic Christmas. The younger they are, the louder the noise, the louder the toys.
Yep.
Sound.
It was fun to watch. I loved all the Christmas stuff. I do.
Mm-hmm. We didn't get a Christmas story this year though.
No. The only scene they had in the hospital was
Christmas
actually
story this year, though.
Previous week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Cameron and Spencer there as the elves.
Yes, yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and little cutie Esme walked in.
I guess if she's a little cutie, you think she's a little cutie?
But she looked cute in that little
cute.
outfit.
Yeah,
She did.
yeah.
That little dress outfit. She looked cute as
You liked
hell.
it. You
Yeah.
were into it. You liked it. I guess
Well, I
she's a
thought
pretty little lady.
Well, Spencer was all for it, wasn't he?
Oh,
He
well,
was
yes,
liking
of
her
course.
in her little elf dress.
Yes. In her little elf dress. I mean, I think they all look kind of little handsome and cute in their little elf costumes, though. I thought that was a fun little thing that put together, and they were well tailored. They fit all the actors well. It accentuated the things that needed to be accentuated and hid what needed to be hid. You know, I mean, it's just perfect fashion, perfect holiday fashion.
They did some hospital stuff though a little bit. They had that with the three of them there, and then of course in the hospital, that's where Epiphany sang her song, right?
Yes. So Epiphany, resisting it. So we had a song. We had a little moment between Epiphany and Marshall. Seems as though they might be friends soon. They bonded over jazz music. They're really pushing the Marshall is the musician thing. Hello, Brittany, and hello, Jacarius. Thank you very much for commenting on the live chat so far. Hello. So Marshall and Epiphany having some moments of friendship, of bonding. Marshall is a musician. Epiphany likes to sing. They're both. Epiphany comes off as younger than I think she actually is. Marshall seems to be age appropriate for the actor that they have cast.
Oh, I think so.
I would say that they're both 50s. I mean, Marshall probably a little older, but I would say Epiphany.
Marshall. Yeah. Well, Curtis appears to be 40 years old.
Yeah.
So they need to have Marshall be at least 60, right?
At least 60. And I would say that Epiphany was 55 or older?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm with it. I'm all for romance and love on the show, okay?
A little bit older.
And I'm also all for, because what we're now seeing is some of this vacuum that exists now that we've had a couple of big departures from the show. Characters are going to have to elevate and rise. Ever since we lost those two, we've gotten a lot more TJ. We've gotten the Davis girls. We've gotten Epiphany on there. There's a little more love to share with some of the actors that are out there.
A little more. And I want Epiphany. I would love for them to give her story. I would love to have her have a relationship with Marshall. I would like to see that. And I just want Sonia to be. Sonia doesn't get to do that much, and the nurse's ball and chew people out every once in a while, and that's about it.
Right? Yeah, she's good for dropping some truth bombs on folks.
Yeah, and then she offers friendship, and she has tender moments too on the show, but she hasn't had a story since
her son had drugs or something.
A night shift.
Oh wow, that was a long time ago. Then that was that was
that was when Billy D was on.
Yeah, but I mean, so was Patrick and Robin. I mean, how long ago was that? That was
right. It was
10 years, right?
Yeah. Sonia Eddy has been on General Hospital.
Yeah,
not on the front burner, but she's been on General Hospital a long time.
Well, I do remember that she was a lead, like a contracted player on the Starting and the Flip and all that years and years and years ago. Back when they were doing the opening that showed all the actors' real names. Yeah. Or at least their character names. Regardless, one of them. When they were showing names, Epiphany was on there. I do remember that because you know me in openings of shows, especially ones that are supremely old. I go back and watch that stuff. I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Because it's fun.
It's fun. I like the changes in the theme songs and then the little people that come through, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember Aiden.
I remember that dude.
Yeah,
I do remember. Actually, I think our music is from that old, with all the dudes in the, where they all had tuxes on.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
That one, which isn't on the live stream. It's only on the recorded podcast that you can get on your podcasting app. So, hey, you miss this live. Well, you can come back and watch the video because this is going to be saved forevermore on YouTube. And you can also go check out your local podcaster app, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, all that kind of stuff. Check out and find the 10th floor. And, we start off with a little music. It's a little old school GH music.
Yeah.
And
but that, I remember when they had that opening, I think General Hospital might have used that one longer than any other one. It was on for years.
do. Oh yeah, for sure.
It was on for years. And at the end, Luke always gets up and walked away.
He gets up and separates himself from the rest of the cast as they're all sitting there like, hey, there's the star of our show.
I'm Anthony Geary.
I'm Anthony Geary, and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. Good times. Good times. All this Anthony Geary talk is just making me miss Luke and Lucky and the whole Spencer gang.
Oh, I saw that. Wouldn't it be great if Jonathan Jackson was come back, even for a little while?
He seems to be very, very, very into his musical career.
He is.
So yeah. I don't know how much interest Jonathan Jackson might have in something like that.
Yeah. Well, he was great on Nashville.
Yeah, I remember you really enjoying Nashville a lot.
Yeah. So. I watched the last season, not so much.
No.
They switched over, and they were canceled.
Oh yeah, they went over to CMT or whatever, the country music television.
Yeah, it just wasn't the same.
A lot of shows are like that though. Once they find their new network, the quality either drops completely or gets a lot better. But there's never maintaining your momentum when you find yourself on a new network.
And the lead died.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Connie Britton didn't continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lead died, and then it just wasn't that good anymore after that.
Good musical soap, primetime soapy nonsense, though, right?
Yeah.
And betrayals and crime and death and illness and just all kinds of
betrayals.
Yeah.
Betrayals. I just never ever seen an actor, male, female, whatever. I've never seen an actor be able to cry like Jonathan Jackson.
He's able to turn the well on, right? It just turns into just eye pour of just.
I mean, instantly he can have like his eyes completely full of tears right on the brim, and then they just go.
Yeah. Oh man, classic great crying. You know, Trina has that classic soap cry down. She hasn't used it in a little bit because she hasn't been moved to tears because she's a very strong woman that takes a lot to push this woman to tears. So she hasn't cried a single tear over all of this Nicholas and Spencer nonsense. Hey, Brittany Watson in the chat also loved Nashville, by the way. So you've got a friend in Brittany. She also misses the Spencers. And hello, Nathan. See, I'm going to interact with this chat as much as I can. All right.
Absolutely.
It's a fun.
Hi, you guys.
It's a fun part of this thing. All right.
I can't see your comments. Only Matthew can. He and I were supposed to be side by side, and it didn't work out. So Matthew is still in SoCal, and I'm up here in North Cal.
We'll get it all figured out over the next couple of months. What we need is capital. So if you're interested in investing in a podcast, go ahead and just cut a check out to me, stick it in the mail. Brittany loves the scene where Lucky confronted Liz about cheating with Nicholas. That is totally the case, 1,000% the case. I'm sure you remember that. We talked about this on the podcast probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, where he's drunk and he's talking to. Was it good? Does he get you hot? Cheating, Elizabeth? Is that what turns you on? Is just being a dirty cheater? I think they already had a baby and stuff by then, so. Or something. I don't know. Either that or Lucky impregnated Liz and then effed off over to Europe and was just a deadbeat dad. Speaking of deadbeat fathers.
Yes.
They mentioned that Jason was one.
I know.
Even though he wasn't an everyday kind of dad, he loved his kids. Listen, folks, if you're watching GH and you talk on Twitter, guess who reads that? Frank Valentini. You know what he's going to do? He's going to eventually work into the show what you guys are complaining about. It's the truth. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
If something explodes on soap Twitter, it is addressed on the show within 6 weeks.
Usually, huh?
Usually, they talk about it, they mention it, they have a little in-joke, something. Like, they are watching and they are listening, folks. Even Peter now. Peter's in a coma, and everybody loves it. Even the people in the show are like doing backflips. Peter's in a coma.
Last week, didn't I say that he's a deadbeat dad?
He is, and he's a Dead dad.
Yep, he did.
He's dead, dead, dad. He did daddy. He did daddy. He did daddy with your sling blade.
Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful if someday he could come back, though? I'm all,
Jonathan Jackson? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure that if he were to ever call ABC Studios and go, hey guys, I feel like I want to do a couple of weeks, they would go, yes. You were locked away by Victor Cassadine and you are the screaming woman. We're just going to change this.
Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions on that still. The screaming woman.
Yes.
The screaming, crying woman. Mm-hmm. That hasn't been revealed yet.
Right.
And they alluded to somebody else being in charge besides Uncle Victor.
It's not Cyrus Renault.
And it's not Cyrus Renault.
Okay, all right. It's Cyrus Renault.
I think it's a Cassadine. I think it's an undead Cassadine.
Another undead Cassadine? Like a Stefan.
They got some, got some potion or whatever.
They do. Patchy's coming back. Patchy Stefan.
Why not? I mean, oh, my goodness.
Well, it's fun about the Cassadines because they are.
Stavros has been undead like 3 times.
Yeah. Dead. What's fun about the Cassadines is that they're so impactful to General Hospital and have been for like the last 40 years. But there aren't that many of them.
No.
There's Stefan, there's Stavros, there's Mikos, Helena, Nicholas, Spencer, and then like Alexis and Valentine, Victor.
Yeah.
Like that's like 6 or 8 people.
Yeah.
Over the course of 40 years.
Mikos used to have some brothers though. Besides Victor. I think there was another brother at one time.
Well, regardless.
Back in
there ain't that many. But like we saw with Valentine, though, if they need another Cassadine, they can just invent one.
Absolutely,
it's very easy with how promiscuous Helena and Mikos were.
Right? Absolutely.
Oh my goodness gracious! Oh,
wouldn't it be
God.
Crazy? This would be crazy, crazy.
I'm ready for the crazy.
Crazy.
Ready for Cassadine.
Crazy Cassadine crazy. The crying woman.
Yeah.
Is Alexis's mother.
Alexis's sister.
Alexis's sister's dead.
Second Alexis sister. Christina, right? Christina was her sister's name?
Yes.
Yeah.
She named her.
It's all in the big circle of family life. It was nice to see the Davis girls, not just last week, but this week as well.
Yeah.
Like I said 10 minutes ago, a little bit more time to play with some of this airtime, a little more characters you might be able to see. It's just heartwarming. There's something special about the Davis family being together in the same scene. Their chemistry together is amazing, and you can see on Twitter too through Nancy Lee Grahn, who's one of the most vocal person and will share the most on Twitter, which is a gift to podcasters like us because we really get an insight into at least Nancy Lee Grahn's world when it comes to making this show. And the amount of love that she has for those actresses and the fact that she calls them like her daughters in real life, like these are my kids, just goes to show how much they get along, how much they love working together. And that really comes out in the scenes that they do together. There's so much good chemistry there.
I've been saying for a while now that they need to give the Davis sisters more.
Yeah,
they need to give them more. Those girls are good actresses.
Oh, absolutely,
good actors.
All 3 of them can really carry something, right? There's 3, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I think Sam gets pleny of. She's been on the show a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's been the most prominent.
Where Molly and Christina, Christina, she was on a lot with the whole Donna Day stuff.
Yeah, and she was on a lot before that, and before then too, right? Like before she ran off with that teacher girlfriend that she had come up with, she had done a number of like consistent.
And remember
years.
when her mama run over her boyfriend, her abusive boyfriend.
I missed that part, but I do definitely remember Alexis running over Kiefer because they brought it up recently. That was the damning letter that Christina had wrote to Donna Day. Something, the blackmail letter that everyone had to write about somebody else, not about them, but about somebody else. Ooh, Donna Day. We never did the Shiloh song. We're gonna have to put that out anyway. It's a little old, but whatever. We got a YouTube account now.
That's true, huh?
Yeah.
That's true.
Aw,
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
Oh, look at that. We got a whole platform for stuff. Now we're gonna become social media influencers.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, what else happened on GH? We could talk about Marty and Lucy because that's fun.
That is super fun.
Because
That is super fun.
Okay, Frank Valentini, I know you're watching. I can say watching now. Frank Valentini, I know you're watching. I know you're watching with bated breath and great intent, and you just love our opinions that we lay down every week here on the 10th floor. And I really appreciate you putting together, such great couples. You find these two actors that clearly will be able to pop and sprinkle with each other. And you stick Kim Schreiner and Kathleen Gaddy.
Yeah.
And now we got Lucy. We got Lucy, what's her name? Lynn Herring, and we got Michael E. Knight together. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
I noticed last week when they did the Christmas greetings, remember they did Christmas greetings? Well, now we know why he and Lucy were in that scene together.
Exactly.
In that Christmas greeting together.
Yeah. I did think it was Lucy. What's Lucy doing there?
Yeah. Now we know.
Now we know that it's the next couple. I don't know. I don't know what it is about this story, though. I don't know what it is, but I just walk through so afraid for Marty Gray. I don't know if it's because I don't have faith in Michael E. Knight to want to continue with a project for 10 years or what.
Well, what I wanted to say was what I noticed about that was where they had their names at the bottom. There was no E.
Oh, just Michael Knight? Oh.
Just Michael Knight.
Well, I guess Knight Rider's been gone for long enough that he could drop the E now.
Well, I remember him saying that there already was a Michael Knight that was in, what is it, SAG or something? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, usually. I think it's all got a different name now, but.
Well, there was already a Michael Knight.
Oh, I thought that was the name of the Knight Rider guy. Kit and Michael Knight. Listen, it was before my time. I don't know.
But anyway, I just noticed that the E was not in his name.
Huh. I don't know,
and
but I just think that they're fun
together. And he's got to keep that Kentucky accent because as soon as he started speaking on that greeting, I said, "Oh, look, Grandma and Tad said Merry Christmas."
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, don't be naughty out there." I'm like, "Okay,
yeah."
Tad,
I was like,
sit down.
"Oh my goodness."
Go take a break, Tad.
And I didn't even consciously say that. It didn't seem like I decided to call him Tad. It just flew out of my mouth.
It just flew out of your mouth.
Because the voice sounded like Tad.
That's because it's his really voice. It's his really real voice. But you're totally right. What you said 15 minutes ago on this very podcast that you are watching or listening to right now he did the voice to separate himself from Tad and do something different, and I'm totally for it, and I love it, and I love doing it too.
I think that's why he has a beard as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think Tad might have had a beard off and on every once in a while, but especially toward the end, when he got the white beard, that's when he really started doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. Hey, a couple of questions from the chat. Nathan Banks wants to know, do you think that Cyrus might bring back Dawn of Day?
Oh,
it's all positivity. It's all about finding your inner strength and moving on from the terrible things that happened to us before.
You know what, Nathan? I think that's a possibility because they did kind of sprinkle that a little bit last week. I could see why you were thinking that, saying with him saying that he had found God.
Yes, I found God. I'm a changed man, Laura.
Yeah. Oh. And she just laughed in his face.
Oh God, she laughed at his face and then was like, "Oh wait, he might be serious about this." Oh no!
She believed him about not putting a hit out on her.
Yeah, I mean, I really have to give that to the amazing acting talent of Jeff Kober. Holy smokes, what a treat of an actor that they have chosen to be Cyrus Renaud. I know that I sung his praises while he was doing his main run a few months ago, but I still feel it now. And I too was in Laura's shoes when he's like, "Is everything okay with you and Marty? Is Marty safe?" Like I was like, I don't know, do I? But then also, But you seemed really concerned, but you're also Cyrus. So I felt it.
Yeah, but Cyrus has always been ultimately he's that wounded little boy.
Always that wounded little boy. And Jeff Kober, once he found out that part of Cyrus's motivation, because we all know that the actors don't get the full story. All right. And I'm involved in these little soap opera audio dramas that James Lott Jr., JLJ Media operates and produces and puts out there to the world. And I have, I guess, a little bit of experience now when it comes to producing a soap-like series in which the actor has no clue. The actor is, you're up to something. But you don't know what the something is.
Unless it's something really, really, really huge for the character that's very, very different.
Right.
Then they will pull them in for a meeting and say, this is what we're going to do.
I imagine they pulled Esme in and sat her down and said, all right, you're coming in. You're going to be the girlfriend of Spencer. Here's a quick rundown of the Cassinine family dynamic and drama. But what really sets you apart is that you are the niece, nephew, grandchild, second cousin to college roommate to Ryan Chamberlain. You were connected to Ryan Chamberlain in some way. Now, does she know what that connection is? I don't know if the actress Avery Pohl, I think her name is.
I think so,
Something like that. Does she know? I can't say that she knows unless they've already filmed it. But she might have an idea that I am connected to this other character in some way. Esme is connected to Ryan in some way, so I need to play that in my scenes. But the some way, the writers might not even know. And that's kind of the fun and the beauty of writing a long-form story like soap operas, is you can plant those seeds for little things and then really decide what they are later on. Curtis's father is a perfect example. My father's not my life. He died when I was a kid.
Curtis, I think Curtis, you could see in that scene with in the hospital, and right there at the end, he didn't say anything, but you could see his face soften. He's going to forgive his dad.
He's leaning toward actually being able to have that conversation, because he put up that wall. He's been so steadfast with the no way in heck am I ever going to give this man a moment of my life.
Right.
But now he's kind of seeing, well, he's not actively being a jerk. He's not going around manipulating people or complaining. He's just going around and speaking the truth now that everybody knows who he really is.
Yeah, but he's not speaking the truth enough, and he needs to explain himself.
But what if it is really so dangerous, and it still could be actively dangerous if they know the information? I don't know. I guess it's important that we find out what this is.
That's all stuff. That is all going to be story of 2022.
Oh, yes, we're going to be finding out before March. Absolutely, we're going to find out what this thing is before March. They haven't really given us enough either to really predict what it could be. It seems as though the only piece of information we have about Marshall's past is that he knocked the crap out of Joey Novak. Got his crown kicked in by one guy in the back that I didn't see.
Man.
Yeah.
I wish they would have shown that a little bit.
But then there wouldn't be no mystery anymore. Like, what happened? Was it Marshall or was it somebody else? It seemed to be Marshall. Yeah. He's connected in some way, connected in the music business. Is there a lot of crime in the music business? I mean, Link was up to no good. Maybe there's some sort of underhanded music business practice out there that Ned Quartermain needs to get involved in so he can, be Eddie Main again.
I'd rather Brooke Lynn gets her voice back.
Well, I don't know, because so the rumor is out there, and I don't know if this is the case or not, but the rumor is out there that Amanda Setton is not a good singer. She's the actress who plays Brooke Lynn currently.
Yeah.
So I think that they might have done the whole neck slash thing when they transitioned away from the other Brooke Lynn that filled in for her during the pandemic break.
Yeah.
I think they might have did the whole throat slash actress swap so Amanda Setton wouldn't have to come in and sing. Because the other one could carry a tune. She had her singing for deception ads and such. And that whole pitch meeting went bad, and because Sasha was on drugs. Oh wow, Sasha's had a really tough year, hasn't she?
Oh my goodness.
Man, she was on drugs and then she was off of drugs. She had a baby and then the baby didn't make it.
No, but let's go back to back to Lucy and Marty.
Oh, sure. You got more opinions about Lucy and Marty.
I loved it. Well, we didn't talk about them going downstairs and they're,
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to let you do this walk of shame by yourself.
It was so funny.
I'm going to go back down there in my Santa Claus outfit.
And here they strolling up to the table with Kevin and Laura. Laura was cracked up at them.
Here's the thing, though.
And they're sitting Doc, he was married to Lucy for a long time.
He was. And that's the thing that I wanted to comment on was Lucy practically throwing herself at Santa when she thought it was Ryan? Like, come on, Lucy, have some class. She ain't got no class when it comes to Ryan or Kevin or whoever that is. Yeah, so Kevin and Lucy, old timey classic couple that was together for a long time, right? Like all through Port Charles and Night Shift and all of that nonsense.
Yes, they were together for a long time. Well, Lucy messed it up.
Oh, of course, it's Lucy. Right? We're talking about Lucy here. So Marty and Lucy, maybe this is it for Lucy. Maybe this can be the big thing that sends her off into only showing up once a year for the nurses' ball. I don't really know what kind of agreement she has for the show. It
cracked me up too when she said something about, I've found myself in a lot of predicaments, embarrassing predicaments.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I've done some research. I've done some research on you. I know. I've had my eye on you. Well, I've had my eye on you too. Now they've had their eyes all over each other.
And Laura just was so funny.
Well,
she was just so funny. She got such a kick out of the two of them.
Jeannie Francis must be having the most fun on the show that she's ever had. Like, in my opinion, Laura's never been better. Okay, she gets to have all of this fun on the show now. She gets to be that straight talking grandma. She gets to be that parental figure. She gets to be the mayor of the whole town. She gets to play on these scenes with Marty Gray. She has brothers that she didn't have before. She's got a relationship that isn't filled with drama and strife, but understanding and love and conversation and appreciation. Just the stories that Jeannie Francis gets to play, where you're not marrying the person that assaulted you, where you're not getting kidnapped and in comatose states and being thrown into the loony bin, where you're not dealing with the sudden and miraculous death of someone that meant something to you. It's great. I mean, Lulu's in a coma, but that was years ago now. It's been a long time. She's been in a coma for a while.
A year.
It's so long that Dante's able to move on with somebody else.
A little over a year, right?
Ooh, a little over the year. And speaking of Dante moving on to somebody else, the kids aren't really liking that, are they? Or liking it? Okay, so Scout was there with Drew, right? And then Rocco shows up with Dante. Right? I can't just say Dante. I got to say Dante for some reason. Dante.
Well, that's the way his mom says it, doesn't it?
Dante. And then Robert Scorpio calls him Dante. Or Dante. You and Dante. Anyway, in any case, they show up, right? And then Drew is all like, "Hey, let's do some stuff." And then Rocco's like, "No, I'm going to do that with my dad. Leave me alone." Or no, he offered to take Jake to a ball game or something. And then Rocco's like, "No, my dad's going to do that with us. You get out of here, you punk." So I guess there's going to be some sort of like resistance. You're not his dad. His dad's dad. I don't care if you're his twin brother who has a different face. Some strife there. That's why they aged up them kids. Kids storylines require kid actors and not just children of staff members.
Yeah.
Like all the kids now, even little Charlotte.
I didn't really see her. I didn't see a whole lot of age difference there.
You just think they just kind of switched actors
for
availability?
I heard that I believe they moved.
Yeah.
That's why she's not available anymore.
Oh.
Little Charlotte.
Well.
They moved.
Sometimes you got to make choices for your family and not just one member of them. But yeah, no, she's done. That actress is done. She tweeted out a little thing thanking the cast and crew for all of the time. Wonderful opportunity. Really love the people. Blah blah blah. It's something written by her agent, of course. But yeah, she is no longer a contracted, expected player on General Hospital anymore,
And
and they
she,
went with somebody else, somebody who looks a little more Greek.
mhm.
I thought.
But I don't think she looks too much older. I thought that Charlotte had the little actress playing, I don't remember her name, that was playing Charlotte was already like kind of self-sourced a little bit.
Kind of 12.
She looked, she looked older.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
she did.
Now here's the thing though, like that character has been Sorazed though, because I remember when I first started watching, the kid was like 3 years old 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when when I first started watching, it was about this time of year. Steve Burton was coming back within the next 4 months or something. He came back in like a March or an April type of thing. But I was started watching during the holidays, Christmas timesy, and the big Christmas miracle that year was Lulu finding out that Charlotte was her daughter, which was like 5 years ago when she was a toddler.
Yes.
So that kid was Sorazed already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're all catching them up. They're all young, 12, 13-year-olds now. These groups of kids.
Yeah.
I'm with it. It's okay though, because we're still popping out babies. All right, we got Bailey out there. All right, we got. Well, I was gonna say Liam, but we don't have a Liam anymore. But there's Bailey. That's a baby.
That's a baby. Donna's only 2.
Donna's still young. Yeah. And they got Scout's younger. I guess she's like 8, but.
Maybe.
I don't know. Let's see. Scout's the one that was dealing with Drew. So I'm terrible with ages. So she's like 5. Yeah, I would say that works. That tracks. That's not much of a Sora. It's Donna. Donna got Sorazed because Donna and Scout are about the same age. We just haven't seen Donna in a minute, but the last time we saw Donna, she was like, "Hey, I'm here talking, having full conversations, and pouring my own cereal."
She's like 2.5, 3, something like that.
Not the next time we see her.
Not the next time we see her? Well, maybe not.
No.
Rocco was all talking like this now. I'm just a grown-ass man now.
You've got a little voice and everything.
Yeah.
Hey, how awkward do you think it is for William Lipton and Eden McCoy to make out like that on the show?
I don't know. They look like they're enjoying it to me.
It looks like they're really enjoying it. Like they've been like hoping for this for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're a thing for real.
Maybe they like each other. I don't know.
Maybe they're a thing for real.
Because
hey,
Chad,
those
if you know.
Scenes, those kissy scenes look pretty natural, and they don't look like they're trying too hard for that. Not like poor little Trina when she had that kiss like a year ago.
I mean, that was more than a year ago now.
Gosh,
I'm sure hers with Nicholas. Oh God, hers with Spencer coming up is going to be really awesome. But we need all of this drama from Spring Ridge to happen first. Is really what's on the play here.
Oh yeah, and I think there's going to be. I think Spencer's going to wind up having to go, and I think there's going to be some Ryan baloney.
Oh yeah. Spencer, Ryan, and Esme all in the same set together? Yeah.
There's going to be some Spencer. There's going to be some Ryan stuff.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Oh, my gosh. Blink, blink, blink.
I know.
Blink, blink. I'm going to kill you. Blink, 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 blink. How's Ava? Blink, 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 blink. She's my stepdaughter. Blink, 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 blink. Oh, man. See, that's an hard impression for me to do because I have to say blink, blink, blink. And that's just...
Well, you don't have to anymore. People can see you. Right?
Except for the people who are exclusively audio listeners, and that'll be a little more difficult. But hey, if you're listening on the podcast or next Sunday at 11 a.m., come on down to YouTube, watch this thing live, join the chat like Nathan Jacarius and Brittany did, We still got 10 minutes, 12 minutes left, though. What else is there to talk about? There's all kinds of stuff to talk about on GH. I mean, we talked about it all already because it was a short week that only had Christmas. So we got to talk about something again.
I tuned in Friday just to see what they decided to show.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I don't get that because I'm a Hulu guy.
Well, I just tuned in. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I wanted to see if they were going to play the Christmas Carol with Finn again.
Yeah, that would have been perfect,
they didn't.
Right? Oh.
They didn't. I thought that had been
some sort
perfect.
of relevant rerun, huh?
They did a rerun from February around Valentine's Day. And Jason was on it.
I'm really surprised Nicholas is letting Spencer go to Spring Ridge and have a record. The thing about Nicholas and Spencer is, though, Nicholas was pretty much like, you're not my son anymore. Get out of here. You just go suffer the consequences now. He's not really, until Laura's able to work his magic on him, which she's trying to, because she's like, hey, I understand your feeling about your son, but we're going to do right by him instead of wrong.
She wants to smack that Nicholas around a little bit, just knock the Cassadine out of him.
Remember, you're a Spencer or a Weber or a Collins or whatever she wants to identify herself as. You're my progeny. So I totally understand how Nicholas is just like, yeah, well, this is what he gets, because this whole pressing charges and going to court thing is something that he hasn't stopped to begin with, so he's not going to stop now. So I feel about it, at least. And then when Laura's finally like, listen, you're being a Stavros, stop it.
Well, it is his dad.
Yeah, you're being a Stavi. Stop being a Stavi, dude.
A Stavi? Cassadine.
Just stop it. Just stop it. So, and the potential for drama and plot advancement is much higher with more characters in Spring Ridge again, because that's how we get the camera into Spring Ridge to be on Ryan. That's how we develop the Esme Ryan plot, because Esme right now is an accessorial character to our leads. So putting her as the focus to push this Esme story along removes too much mystery from what Esme is actually up to. So you kind of need to tell what she's doing in the background of somebody who's actually at the forefront of the story, so the mystery about Esme stays sharp. So there's a lot of thought and how to put together a compelling story over the course of 5 days a week, every year, that needs to go into this stuff. So
yeah.
Now Victor, though. Victor, with his whole like, well, boy, you're pretty much getting away with it. You only have to go to jail for a year or a month.
30 days.
30 days. You have to do 500 hours of community service and give Ava some money. That's it. You're free. And Spencer's like, oh my God, what? But it's just like my Christmas perspective that I had at the very beginning of this podcast, where I'm like, gosh, Christmas just goes by lightning fast now compared to when I'm a kid. Because when I was a kid, a month was a much bigger portion of my life than it is now.
Absolutely.
Because I'm significantly older.
Absolutely. And I think that's why all humans say time is flying. And as you get older, it seems to fly by faster. The years keep on clicking by because, when you're 10 years old, a year is 10% of your life.
Right.
When you're 100 years old,
it's 1%.
1% of your life.
Exactly.
And so that's why it seems like it's just whizzing by.
So with those different perspectives, you got Victor, who's like, I was just hidden for 5 years, not able to come off of an island. This is a treat for you, boy. And he's like, a month of my life in jail.
Well, he's scared. And he's scared.
Oh, yeah, because he's a pretentious little spoiled baby. He was totally honest with Trina when they were having that conversation. You see me as a spoiled, pretentious baby. She's like, nah. Yeah, but nah. But you're handsome, though.
Well, she likes,
she does.
There are sparks. Trina really, really likes Spencer, even though she don't like Spencer.
Yeah.
She really likes Spencer.
Yeah, well, she likes Spencer, and she knows that she doesn't want, shouldn't. Like, come on paper, this is bad. But for the first time ever, Trina's experiencing what it's like to be like, logic be damned. This is what my heart is calling for. And so this cabin trip is going to be drama. The Spring Ridge thing is going to be drama. Cameron and Jocelyn are just never going to be able to have time to bone. It's just constantly going to be interrupted by something.
Well, they keep on sucking on each other's face like that. They're going to wind up having the clothes fall out regardless.
Well, until Esme knocks on the door or somebody gets a phone call or Sonny dies again. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I do know that Willow's going to probably speak up next week.
I think so. I think there's going to be big drama in the courtroom.
I can't lie to the judge. Oh, what am I going to do? Michael, how dare you put me in this position?
Oh, I think she's going to wind up leaving Michael.
I think that Michael is getting too dark too quickly for Willow's taste. I think that she's going to have a moment where she's like, oh my God, he's pulling me down with him. I'm not behaving like I used to. All of this deep-seated heavy drama. Now, if Willow leaves Michael, though, she better find herself in another story real quick. Otherwise, Willow could just move away.
It's true. It's true.
So, but since we're going back to Spring Ridge, maybe there's going to be some more Harmony stuff. I can't imagine they're sending Spencer to Spring Ridge for them to not do anything with the characters that we had previously seen at Spring Ridge with Alexis.
I agree.
Harmony and Ryan and Esme and Spencer and whoever else he might befriend in the rec room.
Harmony might have to come. Harmony might have to come to someone's aid or something.
Harmony definitely recognizes Esme for the deceptive woman that she is.
She does.
She does. She's had conversations with Alexis about that already, about how she can she could just taste it in the air around these people.
Yep.
Because of all of her experience with DOD.
Yeah, good gauge on people.
Now, do you think that somebody like Harmony would find herself a little more susceptible to maybe someone like Cyrus? I'm coming around saying all these, look at how I've changed my life. Look how much better I am now that I found the Lord. You too can change your life and be accepted by the people around you.
Maybe. I would hope not, but maybe. But she does have history with him though, because he was already,
he employed her for a moment. Yeah. And then I don't know, maybe
and threatening her, and
maybe the
stuff
strength
like
of love between Alexis and Harmony is going to be enough to keep her away from.
I saw somebody on Twitter actually mention the same thing you did, that maybe there's potential for a relationship between Harmony and Alexis.
Oh yeah. There is. There's potential. And it's going to be fun. I'm with it. And Christine is going to be like, what? I knew I got it from somewhere. Yeah. It's going to be good times. And then clearly we're setting up drama with Sam, Dante, and Drew. That's going to be a fun little triangle moving forward.
Yes.
All right. The truth about Nina and Sunny's about to come out. We're sitting on the powder keg of story right now. And it's always such a fun time to be watching the show because we're going to be
transitional time.
Yeah, we're going to be setting new stuff off here, lickety split. Next week, all kinds of stuff is going to explode in our faces, and I can't wait.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Yeah, and they're probably having to rework what they might have thought about doing, because of
what's his bucket 2 being gone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because, he was so heavily entrenched in the whole. I can't imagine. I really don't know what he would have been up to in the current story, but I can see what he could have been up to once all this stuff comes down. Like, there would have been room for Carly to rush into Jason's arms when she finds out the truth about Sunny and Nina, but that's not going to be the case anymore. But I think it's a more compelling story now that now that Carly doesn't have anywhere to run to, except for maybe Michael, who's making poor choices.
Well, they're going to have to. They'll pair Carly up with another guy. But we don't know who that. They can have to. They'll pair her up with somebody.
I don't know.
Like I said, Drew, maybe.
I don't know. We'll see.
Drew might be with Sam. Drew might wind up being with Sam. Drew might wind up being with Carly. Drew might wind up being with Elizabeth.
People did really take to that scene that they had. People did like it. People did like it. I don't know. I really don't know what the future of Carly is, and I think that's a very exciting part to be in for a character that's been on for so much and takes up so much airtime. And to not know what direction is going to go is a fun place to be in. Because if you don't know where it's going to go, that means you're probably going to be surprised by it.
And they didn't mention old Peter laying in the bed at all this week.
I think they said something about him being in a coma. I think Maxie was like, Peter's in a coma, give me my baby. Something like that, Like, I've got a lot to be thankful for. I want Peter to die for Christmas. That's what it was. I want Peter to die right now.
What do you want for Christmas now? I want Peter to die.
Right now. Like, in this moment, just. And he's dead. Excellent. Merry Christmas, everybody. Give me my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's carry that. Let's open gifts.
Okay. All right. So technically we got like 45 seconds left before we're in the noon hour. So, I mean, It is what it is. It is what it is. It's not like, it matters. But the last thing we're going to talk about, though, is Valentine. Okay. Valentine talking to Brooklyn. All right. And being all like, so I would totally understand, if like the baby was in danger from some sort of terrible father or something. But I mean, Chase ain't a terrible person. So I don't know what you were doing.
Right. And that was right there was, you can tell him.
Yeah. But it was just so like pointedly correct that it made me think the Valentine might be starting to maybe put something together. I don't.
He might.
Because it was so specific to what's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's either just a very interesting line to decide to put in the mouth of Valentine, or Valentine is trying to be like, this makes no sense to me.
Right.
This literally makes no sense.
He might figure it out.
I hope he does, because that's going to help him not be so angry. We don't know what phone call he made. He set something in motion when he was feeling the worst about things.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what that phone call was and what's going to happen. I mean, it might have had to do with ELQ or something. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. But I'm interested in that. I'm always interested in Valentine, though. I'm never not interested in what Valentine's up to.
So you think yeah. Valentine's a good character, isn't he?
He is. Like, ever since, like, whenever I started watching 5 years ago during this time, and he was the father of Charlotte and blah, 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 blah. I was like, what an interesting bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's stuff with Nina and with the fake daughter being Sasha and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, we've been able to watch kind of his slow redemption by teaming up with Anna, finding the ways to use his superpowers and connections for good.
Yes.
So yeah, Valentine, I think, has had one of the most interesting and compelling arcs over the last couple of years. I've really enjoyed Nina as well. Nina, though, finds herself in story ruts where she's kind of holding momentum on things for a little while until the next thing develops. I would say is probably the thing that I think holds Nina back the most, is just the amount of time where she's kind of stuck in place while the next part lines up. Nixon falls, stuck in place. Sasha, stuck in place. Knowing that Valentine lied and kind of holding that over his head while she's working with Jax or whatever. Stuck in place. Nell, stuck in place. Like, she finds herself just kind of stuck for a little while until these stories are able to get shaken loose and moved forward. But hey, it is what it is. What it is, it's a soap. We don't have time for everything all the time. It's only 35, 37, 42 minutes a day.
It's 37 minutes almost every episode.
Yeah, so, that's not a whole lot of time. And also that means, too, that all these characters have lives off of what we see on the show, okay? They go to the bathroom, they cook dinner, they do their homework, they have conversations with their kids about their school days, they go to baseball games, they go to barbecues, they eat out, they go watch movies, they do all kinds of stuff that we don't see. And I think that's important for people to remember. We're not watching every moment of these people's lives.
No, you're watching them at work.
You're watching them at work. You're watching them in the most important parts of their day. So, So as it turns out, Sasha and Carly could have called each other on the phone every other day to talk about life, and it just never made air, and that's why they still care about each other so much. Or
I loved it that Sasha and Brando came to the house.
Yeah, and I like that Gladys was like, kidnapped him, essentially, like working with Sonny. Like, I made sure they got here. And she came in, she was a good spirit, she was having some pie, she didn't just leave. It was Gladys being finally really a part of the family. And you can see in her behavior how much she appreciated it. Yes. And that's what makes Gladys great.
Yeah, and it's and maybe she'll have a future in that, and be in the Corinthus Corbin family.
Yeah, until an opportunity comes up that she thinks is a little too good to pass, and then there goes that wrench in the machinery once again, caused by Gladys Corbin. Yeah.
And don't you think that Uncle Victor wants to steal Ava?
He seems to be wanting just to collect the women of Port Charles.
It's true.
I've been fascinated by all these women for quite some time. watching all of these closed caption footage. Victor's up to no good. It's not going to be any fun. Now last thing on Gladys though, she chucked that baby car seat into the trunk with some anger and disdain.
She did.
She's so hurt.
Yes.
She's so hurt and angry.
Yes.
I
She
love
did the right
Gladys.
thing by removing the car seat.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Because,
also at the same
you know-
time, just
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I just give it,
Yeah.
folks. If you're watching now and you're still
Okay,
commenting
Matthew, I
all
can
that, just
tell
give
you-
it to him. Give it to Gladys that she's good.
I tell you a real life situation. Okay.
All right, go for it.
Real life situation.
All right, this is last story. Last story.
That's similar
All right.
to, okay, my next door neighbor
Mhm.
passed,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The day after she passed, their garbage cans we can kind of see when they're at their garbage cans.
Uh-huh.
And we saw John out there just chucking crap
Yeah.
into the garbage can,
Yeah.
just chucking it. And then I had a conversation with him a few days later.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me about that.
Yeah.
He says, I said, I saw you.
Yeah.
I said, I saw you. And I saw you very angrily throwing things in the garbage. He says that was all of her medicine and all her crap that she needed.
Yeah. Well,
They're the
what
same kind of thing.
what a wonderful story to end this podcast on.
Well, I don't, but I'm just,
It's
was the
real
same
life.
kind of
It's
thing.
real life.
It was real life.
Yeah.
And that situation with the car seat and chucking it in the trunk
Mhm.
with so much aggression and,
Yeah.
ugh,
Yeah. It's
That's
just, it's
real
real life and really a brilliant and wonderful moment. I've awkwardly placed in the year. Yes, I will give you that. This story was awkwardly placed in the year. But Christmas isn't always just sunshine and rainbows for everybody.
no.
There's a whole lot of blue Christmases out there.
There's a whole lot of people.
This is something that people out there could relate to in some degree. And truthfully, the performances, the writing, the care that was taken, all of that, it's been a beautiful story.
Mm-hmm.
It really has been.
It was a beautifully written, sad story.
Yeah. A very beautifully written, sad story. Absolutely. So
Mhm.
I think that's the positivity that we can end this Christmas, post-Christmas Day podcast on.
Yes.
Everybody's going to be all right. They're going to move forward
Everybody
with their
is going to
lives.
be all right.
They're gonna find themselves in new drama. They're gonna find themselves with new problems. And like Willow said, in time, you're going to be able to learn to live with the pain. The pain isn't going to go away. She didn't say it's going to fade. She said you're going to be able to learn to live with it and be able to smile once again.
Mm-hmm.
So with that,
Start
folks,
being
no matter
able to
what's
think
going on in your lives, it's going to be okay. It gets better. It gets better for everybody.
Yeah.
Just
And-
keep working hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you can either join us on the elevator to go back down to the first floor and into the parking lot to go on home, spend time with your families, or you're welcome to stay right here on the 10th floor and listen to "Oh Christmas Tree" by Epiphany, accompanied by Marshall on the clarinet.
Yeah.
Oh Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches.
It appears he actually plays that thing too.
Yeah, it really seems like it.
For
It really
real.
seems like it. I'm with it. I like it. I'm interested in seeing what happens. So, folks, stay here, listen to the Christmas carols. There's not going to be actually any Christmas carols once the stream is over. You're just going to see a black screen. Or you can join us right here. Get on the elevator, go back down to the first floor. Go into the parking garage, find your car, unlock the car, get in the car, close the door, turn on the car, let it heat up a little bit, then turn your heater on. Don't turn your heater on too early because your heater usually uses the heat that is created from your engine. So your engine needs to warm up a little bit before your heater works. Okay?
Yeah.
So warm up the car a little bit, especially if you're in Port Charles, New York, where it's snowing. You don't want anything to seize and freeze on you. Go ahead. You're going to have probably one more day of Christmas carols in your local Christmas carol station. So go ahead and get those last ones in.
Yeah. Most of the stations actually play it till New Year's.
Well, maybe you'll
And
get
you
it
know
2
what?
years.
And you know what? We'll see you next year.
Yeah, we're gonna see you next year because we're our next podcast is gonna. Oh my gosh, it'll be the 2nd of the year. Goodness.
Yes.
gracious. Well, folks. In the words of Monty Gray, go on and get on out of here. Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas, y'all. I hope your holiday has been Fantastic.
Yes. Mine was, and I enjoy doing this podcast. Love watching GH. Love watching it next week. And we're going to be right back here. Thank you so much to everybody that joined us in chat. Join us next week, 11 a.m. Pacific time, right here on YouTube. Once we get up to 100 subscribers. If you watched today and didn't subscribe now. Please. Once we get up to 100 subscribers, I can make a custom web address for our YouTube channel. So it can become youtube.com/10thfloorgh rather than youtube.com/video/YIZZZCNMJBE/live streaming. That's a little harder for me to promote out there to the world. So please go ahead and subscribe. Even if you're only listening exclusively on our podcast, go onto YouTube, find the 10th Floor Podcast. Just search 10th Floor Podcast on YouTube and you're going to find it. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel.
It's very easy to find you guys. I found it last week, and I'm not good at this stuff.
So just search 10th Floor Podcast. I know if you're already watching on YouTube, you've done that. But if you're not watching on YouTube right now and you're just listening to our merry voices on the podcaster, go ahead and do us a favor to do that. Subscribe. Go ahead and like, put a comment. You know all that stuff that people say on YouTube. We're going to get it down at some point. But for now, go spend time with your families. I've been Matt.
And I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you right here next time on the 10th